Modo, you're big MRMWRW Mafia.
Dark side.
Come
Light
by
this
with the
bitch up.
tribe. Kirby, what up, though? I'm breaking it down, ground. I'm working my way up. You a way stuck, get your way up. You're looking for pay, cuz I want all of my peoples to wake up. Sleep, Frank Ocean, deep, peak. This not a method the week. Fools, choose. I'm making a break of the rules. Fools, choose. It's the I'm busting the moves. I woke up like this, blessed. Everything else just a test. Stress was created for licking the less. I'm with the gods, yes. Fact, me and Kirby finessing the beat. 10 toes, M.I.M. we reppin' the street. I am the chief, this is the tribe. I need the different electrical side. Come get you a vibe. This is my land, is my only reply.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, G, what up? Yeah. Bag in my bag, no book for the papers. Ain't got time for my bitch, cause I'm running up papers. Just like that I keep the flavors, from the lows to the highs. Make my niggas elevating. Say you got motion, but you niggas just talk. Big dog in the yard, and you bitches just balk. Look me in my eyes, say it with your chest when you talk. Boys do what they can, and men do what they want. Break that shit down, half O's to the pounds. Put my thoughts to action, Jackson's niggas like to stunt a different fabric. Magic happen, pulling rabbits out of hat. Trick you out to life, Houdini, Lord Janie couldn't bring it back. Niggas be capping, say whatever when they rapping. Tell your life story, and what really fucking happened. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. Actions to my words, you can see me here when they play my song. Forever do the man. And Ladybug, yeah, love is love. Loyal to my children, family first, and putting my heart in every verse.
Yo. What's the vibes, tribes? This is I Can't Make This Shit Up podcast with myself, BigChief, not the little one, G the Starflower, melanated god of love. My goddess, Aquarius goddess, and we got a special guest pulling back up to the round table tonight. My brother from another, and my goddess actual brother, JBMiles, will be in the building. You know, he might be running late, or if it may be a chance he might not be able to make it in on at all. But I have an understanding of why. They just came from down these ways. Had a nice little trip this weekend, Father's Day weekend. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it because of the personal situations that I have going on within my own life, but life be lifing. People be peopling, and that's just what it is. It's all about how you choose to accept things, Today's show, Father2Father. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, all of my brothers. I love every last one of y'all wholeheartedly. And of course, like I said on my story today, Father's Day is every day. I didn't go to sleep last night, or I didn't spend yesterday saying, I don't want to be a dad today, man. I'm just going to kick back and do what the fuck I want to do. And then woke up today and say, hey, I'm a dad today. It's Father's Day. Then tomorrow, back to I don't want to, I'm a dad every day. Like point blank period. We all are, for the real men anyway. I can't speak for all because there are some deadbeat dudes out there. But I was just telling my people the other day, me personally, I feel as though it's more deadbeat mothers out there than there are men. It's just the fact that it's a lot more light shined on the men being so-called deadbeats than the women. But But what y'all need to understand, this is all a part of their plan. This is something that been orchestrated, and is just continuing to go on. Why? Because our people are continuing to feed into that shit. You know, a brother had posted on what's that app that's connected to fucking Instagram? I forgot the name of it, but I'm on there. I forgot the name of the app. But he had made a post saying something about somebody cash app him $9 million or something like that. He was gonna save the world. So, I commented under that post and I said, brother, you are the currency, first and foremost. Only you can save you. And I say, well, what if, we had all of that money and we took that money and invested into buying back land and having our people living the way that we feel as though they supposed to be living, right? If people haven't changed their mindsets, what are we really changing? We can rebuild, recreate, we can do all this shit, get all this shit back together, you know. But if those our people are still carrying the same mindset, what are we changing? We just recreating some things to be fucked up again. That don't make sense to y'all. That's why I feel as though these so-called changes that everyone speaks of will never be made or done or accomplished in no type of way, because people still running around here interacting the same exact way they've been interacting all of their lives. They have not made any type of changes within self. So if you haven't made any type of changes within self, how do you expect to change anything else? Okay. This Father's Day weekend, though. Well, today is actually Father's Day. But like I said, we fathers every day. We don't have to celebrate anything just one day. And I'm not even just speaking on Father's Day. I'm speaking on all these fake ass holidays. We should not just be taking one day to celebrate anything. These things should be celebrated every day. Fuck is y'all talking about? Okay. But I was telling one of my bros at my job, it's certain days that us as men, we should take serious, especially the fact that this day is always looked past or looked over as if it's just another day, which it is, same as Mother's Day, same as all these other holidays. It's just another day, you know. It's a part of the program, they orchestrated this shit. They created these things. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with who we are as the people. The only day that actually means something to me is your birthday, your solar return. And the crazy thing about that, a lot of our people will tell you their birthdays is just another day. Oh, it's just another day. Everybody that I ask what they doing for their birthday, man, I ain't really tripping about that. It's just another day, another day. But yet you'll go out here and spend a bag on Christmas? What the fuck? Valentine's Day, all these other weird ass holidays and shit. You will go out here and drop a fucking bag on, but then tell yourself that your birthday, the day that you were born, is just a regular day? That's crazy. Y'all don't think about this shit? Like, y'all really don't sit back and ask yourselves, like, why the fuck do I think that way? Like, how does that mean more to me than that? Like, how? How? That's ignorant as shit. And y'all wonder why they call y'all ignorant black folks. I get it. I get it. Because when I sit back and I think about all this weird ass shit my brothers and sisters are running around here out here doing, how they're conducting themselves on the internet and all of that, yeah, it's ignorant. Ignorant as fuck, you know? Uh, you don't like the label, change the brand. My words. But Those are the things that I try to attack. The shit that sets us in that light of being ignorant niggas. You know, like I made a story today about the whole Father's Day thing. And of course, like it was always designed to take the men out of the house. And that's the reason why you never see Father's Day being broadcast the same way you do when it comes to the mothers. It's a reason for that. And y'all have heard me say many, many times that it's certain shit that's been going on for so long and we've been accepting for so long that it became normal. So, like, even a father not being in the household is normal to people. That's just a regular thing now. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, it's been accepted to the highest level. In my generation, my upcomers, it wasn't really accepted. My brothers, we felt some type of way over the fact that we didn't have our dads around. But this generation, that shit is accepted. It's a normal thing because then it's been going on for so long, and like I said, we've been accepting that for so long that it became normal. So it's normal to not have a dad in your household. It's normal to just be raised by a woman. That shit is normal to people now. It's crazy. That's breaking up the tribes. Y'all don't get it? It's like y'all contributing to everything that's going on. Everything. That's why I say we are our biggest problem. It ain't them. It's their job to create these things to put us at the bottom. It's their job to do this, but you don't have to accept it. Understand your role, play your part, do your job within this universe. Then we can change some things. You know, y'all have been accepting way too much. It's kind of scary because it then got to a point where you'll feel like there is no way of changing this. There is no way of fixing this. If you ask me, it's not, because in order to fix anything, you have to fix yourself first. We can't change shit if we haven't changed our mindsets. You can have all the money in the world, but still carry yourself as an ignorant ass nigga. So now you just an ignorant ass nigga with money. You're still gonna be dealing with the same type of ignorant ass shit in your life. Why? Because you haven't made any changes within yourself. So we're still stuck within the same position. So, in order for us to make any type of changes as a unit, as a whole, as the collective, you have to start with the mindset first. And I'm even speaking to a lot of you brothers and sisters within the spiritual world. I speak directly to y'all because I see y'all entertaining a lot of programmed shit, you know. But speak as if y'all outside of that. A lot of y'all still need work to be done within self. Well, you still need to work on self. Let me say that. A lot more work needs to be done. I'm still doing the work. So I don't speak as if I'm someone that's on a higher level than you, or I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you. I'm not none of that. I am me and you are you. I am you and you are me. I've just reached a higher level of self. I am a better me. I'm not the same me. And that's what is meant. That's what is meant to be done. Being a better you, reaching a higher level, not being the same. Like I speak about this shit all the time, man. Like all the time. Like being a better you. That's all and that's it, man. But you know, like I was saying for the holidays and these fake holidays, everything that we celebrate should be celebrated every day. Like today, Father's Day. You are a father every fucking day. Every day. Like, it ain't no days off with this shit. Fuck is y'all talking about, bro? But motherfuckers out here, but I can't even say motherfuckers out here going out the way for Father's Day because they don't. like I was just saying, it was all designed to be this way. They don't shine any light on Father's Day because it was always meant to put the dads at the bottom, make the women feel like they're, but that was how they were able to take control of the mindset when it comes to our goddesses. That's big facts. By taking us out of the picture and making the women feel as though they don't need the men, and now y'all turning to the government for everything. Even if you working, you still working for the government. Everything is them. Like, it ain't like you doing something on your own. I can see if every woman out here was independent, had their own businesses, and had their own things going on, then that would make sense. But y'all not. Y'all still out here working for these motherfuckers, accepting government benefits from these motherfuckers. Following the plan. That's all of y'all. That's all y'all doing. But a lot of y'all running around here claim to be these boss bitches and bad bitches and this, that, and the other bitches. First and foremost, why y'all keep leaving yourselves as bitches? Why? And then get mad at a nigga for calling you one. That's crazy. But yeah, you can call yourself one and your sister. And, again, that was all a part of their plan to control the women, take the men out of the households. And I just said, what, yesterday about, far as the women, even when it comes to, all right, I'm gonna just speak on my situation personally. When it comes to this child support shit, right? The fact that a woman can just call down or go down or have whatever the process is with that and say that they want to put a man on child support. Now, they're not investigating whether this man should be on child support or not, whether this man is not actually taking care of his kids or not. They're not even investigating whether the woman even has the kids or not. It doesn't matter to them because, again, this is all a part of their plan. They've been orchestrated this shit. It was meant to take us down, and make them feel like they're important or they got their backs, so they are able to control them. Y'all don't get this shit. And guess what? All of y'all, well, I can't say all of y'all, but a lot of you women have fell victim to that shit. So, you know, when we speak about the system, you are the system. Y'all the reasons why the system is running. Y'all accepting this shit. From everything that got to do with the government and the benefits, the so-called benefits that they're giving out to these women, y'all contributing to the plan. And that's why I say I am here to break chains and break cycles. It's us. It's not them. We're doing this to us. It's not them doing this to us. Fuck you talking about? We don't have to abide by any of these rules or regulations that they've created. We don't have to do shit. What makes you weak is the fact that you feel as though you do. Us, the so-called black pros, peace and blessings, peace and love, my brother. Shout out to the chief, Amara, and peace and love, my brother. It's a choice. Everything is a choice. We choose to accept that shit. We don't have to. I just had a conversation with my sis this morning on the phone. Powerful. Every time we get on the line together, powerful. And I had a powerful conversation with my son as well. And I was like, sis, at the end of the day, it's a choice. We don't have to accept any of this shit. Our so-called black race is supposed to be the most dominant race, right? We're supposed to be the most dominant race, right? How? How? How the fuck are we the most dominant race and we ain't accomplished shit yet as a unit, as a whole? And I ain't talking about all so-called melanated people, because everybody is not us. I hope y'all know that. Every so-called black man you see, every so-called black woman you see is not us. We had those who were against us that look like us, and that's part of the reason why we're in the situations we're in today. Fuck is y'all talking about? But y'all still following the programming by pointing the fingers at everyone outside of self. Happy Father's Day, my brother, even though we fathers every day. You hear me? I'm just choosing to entertain this day. But we fathers every day. Ain't no days off with this shit. Fuck is they talking about, bro? If they want to celebrate something for a father, nigga, they need to be doing that shit every day. Fuck y'all talking about. Send us a motherfucking check in the mail. How about that? Treat this shit like it's a motherfucking job, even though it's not. Send us a motherfucking check in the mail every 2 weeks. You want to celebrate some shit that we do out this motherfucker? We go above and beyond for ours. I know I do. I can speak for self personally. I go above and beyond. I've took sacrifices. I've sacrificed myself, you know, to make sure that they were well off multiple times. You can't name one woman that, well, again, let me apologize because I don't want to speak for all. But like I tell y'all all the time, I speak based off of my experiences. So if I'm speaking on something and it's towards men, women, children, whoever, trust me, it's just based off of my experiences of the things that I've witnessed and the life that I chose to live. That's all, and that's it. That's not saying everyone is this way, you know. But when it comes to the deadbeats, you know, I was having this conversation with the brother at my job, and I was like, bro, little do they know, it's more deadbeat women out here than there are men. It's just they shine more light on that narrative that they have painted about us men being deadbeats. It's crazy because I say, bro, you know what? I say, bro, I guarantee you, as a kid, if you were to really tap in with the reasons why your dad may not have been in the household, I can guarantee you it was something the mom did. But yet, since you're with the mom, she's drilling shit in your head and making it or making it as if the dad just didn't want to be there. Or dad just didn't want you in his life. This, that, and the other. Like, they paint these pictures and make it seem like the dads were just so fucked up. I can't believe that. I fail to believe that shit. Now, I'm not speaking about all cases because it may have been cases where it was that way. So I'm not speaking about all, but I don't believe that it was a big percentage of that when it comes to us so-called black men. I don't believe that. You know, we stand too strongly on certain shit, especially when it comes to family. So how can we sit back and believe that our dads just didn't want to be in the household? Our dads just didn't love us. Like, nah, man. Big facts. Hey, brother, big fucking facts. 24 hours and still be deadbeat. Bro. Woo! That hit a little different, brother. That hit a little different. Because there could be a case where, a woman could be in the same household, with that child for that amount of time, my brother. And all of those hours, they would not know exactly what that child was doing. You know why? Because they probably in their room like this with the door shut. Every time the child do knock on the door, they cursing their ass out for keep banging on their fucking door. So they not even really paying no type of attention to that child. The goddamn toilet that flooded, the kitchen smoking, they done blew the TV up, all types of shit going on. But then you want to go out there and whip that child ass, right? Because of whatever they done, while you had your doors closed and locked, when they was knocking on that door saying, mama, 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 I need you for this, I need you for that, you was busy on that motherfucking phone telling them to stop banging on your motherfucking door. But now they done went out there and done some shit that you consider to be fucked up because you didn't want to pay attention to them. No, you want to whip their ass. Damn. 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 Think about that. Think about that. And I promise y'all, without me even actually knowing people's personal situations, I guarantee you that's how shit go. And like I said, I speak based off of experiences. So I done been in households where I've witnessed this. Come on, man. I was once a whole hopping ass nigga, man. I dealt with a lot of different type of women. I seen how they treat their kids and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real shit. But yet, we're the deadbeats, though. And I don't even blame the woman. You know why? This was all a part of their plan. Remember, I said they took the man out the household, they take the man out the household, they take the man out the household. So now the woman, they leave the women to deal with all of that with the kids. And a woman can't take all of that in. And she's not able to control that the way that a man could. Oh, my goodness. Damn. Damn. Because when it comes to disciplining a child, y'all know the dad's the only ones that could do that. Like, y'all the nurturers. Y'all the ones when they sick, they go to mama. They need mama for all of that type of shit. School shit, it's certain things that a mother is supposed to do. It's a role. It's a role that you're supposed to play within that child's life. The same way there's a role that us dads are supposed to play within that child's life. So when that dad isn't in the picture, now the mom is trying to play those roles, both roles, but can't, you know, but can't. But then you're the reason behind it because you chose to dismiss that man from the household. Why? You fell victim to the programming. That's why. Hold up, I'm trying to read it, bro. Big facts, bro. That's why I just said what I said. If a real father was there, would none of that be happening, bro? We are the ones when it comes to disciplining a child. Can't nobody do that better than us, bro. Can't nobody do that better than us, and it don't take no ass whippings, pitting our hands. It might not even take no punishments, bro. Our voices, we have powerful voices, Our voices is law, to that child. And I don't know. Like I said, I can only speak based off of experiences, and I know it's crazy because I be telling people all the time, like, and they don't believe me. I know they don't believe it by the way they face expressions be looking when I say it. I say, bro, I got 3 boys. I ain't never had to beat none of my kids. I've never had to beat none of my kids, and none of them is running around here out here doing no super duper reckless ass shit. None of them. Like, my voice was law always, and still to today, my voice is law. You know, and I was always the type of dad that I'm not gonna get mad at a kid for being a kid. Y'all don't even know that y'all created the trauma within these children's lives because some people chose to beat their kids for things that they did when all they were doing was being a kid. Is met the fuck up. How do you think you're gonna learn what not to do if you don't do it? What the fuck you talking about? You gotta do some shit to learn what not to do. Now if one chooses to accept the consequences behind whatever that was and continue to do it, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you can only learn by experiencing things. So I was one to not beat a kid for being a kid. Now I disciplined them and the way that I chose to do it. And as they got older, I was able to have actual conversations with them as men and explain certain shit. As I may have punished or took the gains away. I do all that type of shit because I know what they into. I know what will hurt them. I know if I do this, they're not going to do that no more because they're not going to want me to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I've never had to put my hands, beat my kids, and none of that. Simple little punishments, and they punishments don't even be long because they get it. Right after I do it, right after they just spent them 2, 3 days, a week, maybe 2 weeks. Well, my son is with me now. I done grounded him for a month, 2 months. Well, he ain't reached 2 months because he started doing what I asked him to do. Like I said, I know how to discipline my children. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. That's the way I chose to go about it. And as a dad, a real father, you know. And like I was saying earlier, bro, this Father's Day thing, we fathers every day, not just for one day. You know, we should be we should be. Damn, I forgot the word I wanted to use. That be this shit. But we should be acknowledged, loved, uh, whatever words you may want to use. When it comes to being a father, it should be done every day. It shouldn't just be a certain day or certain days. Same thing with these holidays. I just spoke on that at the beginning of the show. It ain't even just about Father's Day, what I'm saying right now. It's all of these holidays. Christmas. We should celebrate Christmas every day. You should give your family gifts and tell them you love them every day. Thanksgiving. You should eat around the table with your family every day. Fuck is y'all talking about? That's why I said I had a real big mama in my life. That's why I'm able to present what I'm presenting out here to y'all. I had a real big mama and a grandfather. I know what real family consists of. I know what real love consists of. I've been around that. I was able to experience that. That's why I'm able to spread that. A lot of people can't say that. You know, People think they know what love is, but you don't know unless you experienced it. And if it wasn't within your household, you haven't experienced it. You experienced what you thought was love. Trust me. But, it is what it is. That's a fact, bro. That's a big fact. You hear me? But it done got to a point where, and I'm pretty sure you probably feel the same way, bro. Motherfuckers don't even care about the acceptance anymore. Because I have an understanding that that's just a part of the programming. At one point in time, it was like, damn, you know, I do this, I do that. Like, this shit is sane. It ain't just, talked about. Like, people see what I do as a dad, but yet a motherfucker still put in this box, you know. But then I came to realize that that's all a part of the programming. You know what I'm saying? It was always meant to keep us at the bottom, put us in a bad spotlight, And like I said, that's why they shine the light more on so-called deadbeat dads more than they do deadbeat mothers. And there are more deadbeat mothers out here than there are fathers. The so-called fathers that some consider to be deadbeat dads are considered to be deadbeat dads because of the deadbeat mothers. Y'all don't get that part, though. In some of these children's lives, these mothers just don't want the father around because of their personal issues that they may have with that person. It don't have shit to do with the kids. It has everything to do with you. That's crazy. But then y'all will put in these children's heads that it's the father that's fucked up. He didn't want to be around you. Your father don't love you. No, it's you that feels that way. Fuck is you talking about? And like I said, it been things that has been going on for so long with our people that shit became normal. It's normal to live that way now. It's normal to not have a father within your household. That shit is normal now. But that's fucked up. Yeah, all right. Who do we blame? I don't blame the system because they're doing their job. They were set here to accomplish a mission. I blame ourselves for falling victim to that shit. Fuck is y'all talking about? We can break all of that shit. All we got to do is stop. You afraid to stop. Tell the truth. You afraid to stop. And that's why it will continue to go. Yeah, all right. Stop pointing the fingers. I tell you that. That's what y'all need to stop doing. Stop playing the race card, blaming other so-called racist people, all that weird ass shit. Y'all still pushing those type of narratives out here and shit. Like, what? What? Still playing the blame game? That's why ain't nothing ever happened. Nothing has changed. Like, literally, nothing has changed. Why do y'all think this? Because people are continuing to speak the same exact shit feel the same exact way, speaking about the same exact problems instead of speaking on the solutions. Like, how are we going to solve the problems? Like, how are we going to fix what already has happened? Or are we going to continue to just speak about it? Because that's all I've been hearing. I don't see or hear about anybody accomplishing any type of missions when it comes to us melanated folks. Now I do know it's a lot being done behind closed doors. So I'm not saying that there's nothing being done out here. Shout out to Chief Pontiac. Shout out to Empress Rarebird, and a lot of the other brothers and sisters out here. That's doing it in the correct way. As far as the tribes, tribing up and all of that, man. Shout out to them because it is some work being done. But I'm saying like the percentage of that is very low. The percentage of that is very low. There's a lot more talkers than there are walkers when it comes to our people. Don't let that go over your heads. There's a lot more talkers than there are walkers when it comes to our people. It sounds good, but is it? Is it? Is it? I respect men, you know. I just had this conversation with my bro, one of my co-workers and shit, right? Cause he had peep like tattoos or whatever that they had that I have, and we were speaking on some gang shit. You feel me? He was saying he had a conversation with his people, and they were speaking about something. Some a lifestyle that I choose and Ben chose not to be a part of anymore. And I was just telling bro, like, bro, I don't even want you to present me as that. Like that's something that I've done within my journey, and that's what it was. I'm here now. You feel me? Like I respect men, so I expect you to respect me as that instead of respecting me for whatever part of gang or whatever I was a part of. You know what I'm saying? So I I don't know, man. And I had these conversations before with my girl and my sons about a lot of people that I meet, and this has been going on for a very long time. A lot of people that I meet when it comes to the brothers, it's like they want to speak on that type of shit versus us speaking like on some man type of shit. You feel me? Like it's like they gotta throw that out there, throw something out there when it comes to like being a or some gang shit or whatever, thinking like just because I have that image of one that you gotta bring that my way, or you feel as though I'm one, so you wanna make me feel like you're one, so we can be one. I don't know. I really don't know. It's weird to me. I tell them all the time, please, bro, just be you. Just be you. I don't want to hear about no gangster shit, no guns, no streets, no drugs, no bitches, none of that. I don't care about any of that shit, bro. That shit is ignorant to me. Now that I've woken up and understand who I am, that is a different mindset to me. I no longer think that way. So y'all don't gotta present that gangster life shit to me. I've really done that. I'm not mad at y'all for seeing that. And I'm not being cocky and none of that shit right now. I'm not mad at a nigga for seeing that. Yes, what you see in me, what you think, yes, that shit really was like that. Really, really was like that. And I stood on that 10 toes, but I've learned how to balance both sides, and that's where I'm at with it in my life. I've learned how to balance both sides. So it's like I'm not gonna bring that energy to anyone unless that energy is brought directly to me. I accept words and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They just words, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, you really gotta do that. You really gotta act that way in person with me. Be around me and present that. Say that directly to like face her. You know what I'm saying? Even that, then I still might. Then again, I don't know. I'm lying. I'm still working on myself, y'all. I was about to tell a whole lie. I know damn well for nigga in front of my face saying any of that goofy ass shit, I'm going in his mouth. You hear me? Straight off the rip. But I'm working on myself. I'm gonna get to that point where, even if it was that way, I would be able to ignore that. I told my sister this earlier on the phone. I said, sis, I've reached a level where I can ignore bullshit, even if it's directly in front of my face. I will treat it as if it's not there. It only becomes a problem or an issue if you accept it. If you don't accept it, it's nothing. Everything starts with the mind. So I'm definitely doing a lot of work on self when it comes to that. I'm learning to control that balance, working on the anger issues and all of that. I've been done that. It's a lot of shit that I no longer do anymore. You know, a lot of situations that has happened within the last 3 years that before I would have gave some different energy towards it. But now it's like I've learned that when you give different energy towards certain situations based off energy that you once gave, it doesn't become a situation. Like you kill it, right? Because first and foremost, let's say you and your brother, you know, y'all arguing. Every time y'all argue, you know, you say, bitch, I'll kill you or whatever. You know, every time y'all argue, whatever the case is, the same words are being presented, the same actions is being presented, right? So it comes a time where it's like, all right, this is just what it is. You know, every time they get into it, it's that same exact way, right? Because you're giving the same exact energy towards that shit, right? That's why it's continuing. It's a cycle. It's continuing. It's a cycle. But if you give different energy towards that outside of what you've been presenting, I guarantee you it will change that whole situation. And it will never happen again. And I'm speaking based off of experiences. I'm someone who used to be completely on Damon time. You hear me? 0 to 100 real quick, Drake. I think he know me. I think he know me. I think he knew me at that time when he wrote that song. It had to been about me. Had to been about me. Hot head? What? Me? What? With all of that. I ain't talking about just talking crazy on the internet and none of that shit, nigga. I don't come out. I didn't grow up with the internet. You feel me? Niggas at niggas' doors, at the blocks, or at the parties, outside the clubs, all of that, parking lots, all of that. You hear me? I'm with all of that. I'm that guy. You know, front door service type shit, nigga. I'm delivering pizzas. Fuck around. Yeah, we on that type of time. But I don't speak about that type of shit. And that's one thing about me. I was never a nigga to speak about that type of life. You know, especially when it's on that type of level. You know, I come from those type of gangsters. Like, you don't do shit and present it all over social media or not even talk about it, period. You know, me and my niggas, we so connected. Like, if something is done by one of us, we ain't even gotta say it, but we know. We ain't even gotta say it, but we know. A motherfucker be sitting there silent as shit and just know a nigga just had to, you know. It's just the way that we connected and shit. Well, especially me and my brother. I can't speak for all, but me and my brother, that's how we connected. You know, a nigga know without knowing. Nigga ain't gotta speak about it. You know, but that's the era of gangsterism that I come from. You know what I'm saying? Um, I would have to send you the link, bro. Hold up. I got you. Let me get to it. That's the era of gangsters that I come up from. You know, it wasn't a bunch of talking on the internet. It was a lot more action done back then, you know. But like I said, it's called growth, y'all. It's not meant for us to stay the same. It's meant for you to grow into a better version of self. Hold up real quick, y'all. Let me send my brother this link. I just sent it to your phone, bro. But you know, so it's like these days, even when it comes to the gangster life, like, bro, I be looking at what these young niggas do and consider themselves to be gangsters based off of that. And I'm like, what? Bro, if being a gangster was that easy, god damn, I would have been one of the biggest gangsters in the world. If it was that goddamn easy, if all I had to do was wear a shiesty mask and act like I got multiple guns in that book bag and that I got over my shoulders and shit, and that make me a gangster. But peace of love, my brother. What's the vibes, tribe?
What's down with it, brother? You can hear me?
Uh, yeah, I can hear you, bro.
What's down with it, brother? Hey, you speaking that real shit, man. You speaking that
Mm-hmm.
real shit right now. I'm just vibing right now, man. I'm just vibing. I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking everything in, man, and I hope the audience taking everything in because you spitting that
Facts.
real shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to, you know what I'm saying, keep talking your shit, man. Keep talking your shit. I'm gonna chime in. It's just that one thing I want to say, man, before I let you go back on your shit is people don't realize, man, you came you came to this earth to experience life. So one
Mm-hmm.
one of the most important things in life is family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it don't even have to be specifically the family that you was born into.
Facts. Big facts.
It's the family that you create.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you come to this earth, you have to one of the things that you have to do is know self. So
Mm.
once you know self, it's a variation of the times that you can, you know, become one with self because
Mm-hmm.
everybody can't be everybody don't know self soon as they come to this motherfucker. They have to find themselves.
Big facts. Big facts.
So but once you find yourself and once the woman find herself and y'all come together as one
Mm-hmm.
and y'all procreate
Mm-hmm.
and make a family, that's what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that life is about procreation and
Mm-hmm.
family. So that's why it's so important to them to break up our family and destroy our family and put
Big facts.
boundaries on our family because they know that life is about family and procreating and having generational wealth, not just material wealth, but knowledge and wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the
So
only way
that's
you can gain that is through family. Like that's why I
right.
spoke about the history shit, bro. It's like I feel like, bro, if you ain't got no elders around, that can really tell you certain shit, we don't know. We don't know. I will never base our history off of any books. Unless it was something that was written by our people and we know that they were our people, then that would make sense. But something that's written by someone outside of our people about us, fuck no, man.
Yeah.
I'm learning by living. I promise you, brother. I'm learning life by living it.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Experience.
hmm
Experience.
That's the only way, bro. That's the only way. Come on, bro. That's the only way. That's the only way. My God is pull back up, baby, if you're still here. That's the only way to learn is by experiencing, bro. I had this conversation with my kids, brother. I be telling all my bros at work and all that. I'm like, bro, we can explore as much as we want into our children, right? And they gonna hear you, but they gonna have to experience some shit to get a clear understanding of that, of what you're trying to teach them. They're not just gonna learn just based off of your words. I wish it could be that way, but it's not gonna be that way. They got to get out here and experience some shit within this world to get that clear understanding of what you were saying.
That
Point
certain
blank
shit,
period.
like certain shit, you can discipline your kids without them having to have to experience it.
Hmm.
But most of the things, like when it comes to life and when it comes to going out there and being with somebody or being with yourself or going to work, they have to experience them themselves. But like as far as like protection, some is like, I'm gonna give you an example. I discipline my kids, so I tell them what not to do and what to do. You, as a father, you
Right.
always supposed to tell them what not to do and what to do. So let's just say that the children is outside in the backyard, and I already gave the knowledge to my children that if you ever see a snake in the backyard, don't go towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to pick it up. Don't try to play with it. Don't try to do nothing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day, one of my little girl was in the backyard, and she know what snakes look like. She seen a snake, and the first thing she did was, "Oh, that's a snake! Get back! Get back! Get back!" She came ran and told me, "Daddy, it's a snake in the backyard."
Mm-hmm. Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So that's the
Uh-huh.
type, like, you gotta show them, even though shit, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
All right, yeah. So even though they never experienced a snake bite, they still have the knowledge of what a snake can do and what a
Mm-hmm.
snake is, because
Mm-hmm.
some snakes is poisonous. You don't want your children going out there and getting bit by a snake, and then they end up having, you know what I'm saying, physical issues because you never told them to not touch it
Right.
or not get close to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to discipline. You have to tell them things ahead of time so they can know what they getting into.
Right. Right. You're right. You're absolutely right, brother. And that's when it becomes a choice. I spoke about that as well. It's like when you know something, you have a choice, whether you want to indulge into that or not. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you told your kids this. So if your daughter would have made a choice to go run over there and try to touch that snake, whatever would have happened behind that, even though she's a child,
Right,
it still would have been on her. That was a choice that she made after dad and already said what not to do. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So it still leaves a choice, bro. It
right.
definitely still leaves a choice.
But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you still have to give them the knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day,
For sure. For sure.
you can't
For sure.
don't just let your kids run around and you're not giving them the knowledge or nothing, and you just letting them live how they want to live, and they gonna experience how they want to experience. You still have to put boundaries. You still have to tell them what not to do and what to do and what's good for you and what's not good for you. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
still have to implant that in their minds so they know. So when they do see it, they can know what to do when they do see it.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I know how it should be. I don't know. I can't judge things based off of my generation. We come from two different generations. I'm pretty sure I'm probably a little bit older than you, baby, bro.
Man, I'm an
And,
'80s baby, man. I'm an '80s
all right,
baby.
cool. We both 80s, baby. I'm an early 80s, baby. You hear me?
I'm a late.
So,
Hey, I'm a late '80s baby.
okay, I'm 82 and shit.
I'm 89, man.
Okay, okay. I mean, you still in the 80s, though. That's
I'm a
all that matters.
89. Hey,
Bro,
look, I got the both of best worlds, man.
word,
I'm a 89. Hey, you can consider me as the last of the dying breed, man.
word,
I'm the
word.
last of the dying breed, man.
Word. Hey,
Real
look, I
talk.
always say, bro, I say, look, I ain't gonna lie. After like the 90s, when them 2000s started hitting around, shit got a little bit different.
Yeah,
You know, because
yeah,
a lot of '90s babies, they had people from the '80s, the '70s, the '60s, maybe still within their families. You know what I'm saying? I say that a lot too. Like you had to have somebody from those decades or whatever within your households or connected to you in some type of way, because there's something you're supposed to learn from these people. You
right.
know, so if you haven't had that, how do you know?
And that's another reason why I feel special, man. I really feel like I already know. I ain't no feeling, but I already know that I'm connected because I was born in '89. That was right before '90. So I was in jamming Luther Van. My mama was in there jamming Luther Vandross, Al Green. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She was jamming all the old school shit, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I still had a little bit of that new school shit at the same. I can go to both worlds, man. I can go to the old school and the new school, but I prefer the old school.
Yeah, me too. That's
I
why
prefer the
that's all
old
I be
school.
playing when I do my music thing and shit.
I,
If anybody pay attention, I play a lot of the oldie but
yeah,
goodies,
I
man.
I prefer I prefer the love making music, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
The
on that
shit
R
that makes
I'm on that
sense.
R Kelly shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I be
That's how
going all around the
that's
world
how a
with
lot of
that.
us was here right now off that R Kelly, man.
Big facts. Big facts, man. My first freak dancing in the party with a girl was off the R. Kelly song, man.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
fuck with my. Hey, you can ask anybody, man. I'll be in the motherfucking kitchen cooking, jamming at Michael Jackson, man. I'm
Word.
jamming Michael Jackson, man.
Word.
I'm still on Michael Jackson, man. I ain't on.
Right.
I don't be jamming all this new bullshit, man. I don't jam none of that shit. I
Me
be chill.
neither, brother. I don't even be knowing who these artists are. Like when people be naming certain artists and shit, I be like, who? Like they be like, you don't know who that is? No, I don't. Like I'm not tapped into
Hell
any of
nah.
this shit, man. I don't know
I
nothing.
be still listening. Do you know what today
You hear
is?
me?
It's
It's
our
anniversary.
anniversary.
Fuck they talk about, man.
Hey,
Like,
that's
come
the type
on,
of
man.
shit I be on, man.
Man,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
be
I be
on it,
doing the
brother.
chop, the slide, and all type of shit, man.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yo, I remember the Electric Slide song and shit, man. That's the song they played on all the family cookouts
it
or
tastes like
gatherings.
can. Hey,
Like,
look, tastes like candy,
yeah, you
candy
hear
in
me?
the
I
morning
just
with
down,
you. Oh,
down, dang. Yo.
yes, hey, it takes
Mm.
over you. Tastes
Hmm.
like candy.
Hmm.
Man, I'm on that shit, man.
Word. Word.
I ain't on that new shit, man. I ain't on. You know
Word.
what I'm saying? Like the
Shit,
only.
my father and my mother used to have a lot of discos and shit at our house. So that's
Yeah,
how I know about a lot of the old school music and shit. They always had a lot of discos. So I ain't had no choice but to hear that shit. You
right.
know? Yeah, that's what they did. Had they afros and shit.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, tell me, that's crazy, man. How we all go from afros to motherfucking straight hair, man. Perms and
Right.
shit.
Right. That's how I told all
That's
my
that
kids and shit.
European, that's that European indoctrination, man.
Hmm. All my kids got their hair, bro. You know, they didn't went through the process of getting it cut once, and I was mad. I didn't condone that at all. Nor was I the one who said, you know. But anyway, that was their mom, and that was the first time and the last time. They ain't never get their haircuts again after that. So we all got our shit.
Ain't nothing wrong with wave. Like if you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that wave. Like if you got some hair, like if you cut your hair, waves. If you got waves, waves still have electricity in them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just when you make your hair straight, when you make it fall down your face, and all the electricity is gone. That's why it's falling down. But
Hmm.
the waves have electricity in them. That's why they wave. That's like you ever wondered why your hair can turn into waves, water?
Word. I ain't never think about it, but it sounds interesting though.
Electricity. That's the electricity. The water. You have the waves in your hair. You can. You
You
know what I'm
know what's
saying?
crazy about what you're saying right now, bro? Yo, when I before I started growing my shit back, I kept regulars or whatever or fades, and I had waves. But motherfuckers used to think that I was brushing my hair at 50 times a day, like most of these dudes do.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, all I do is put water on my shit, go like
Yeah.
this, and put my do rag on, and
Hell
that shit
yeah.
automatically wave up.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
hmm
That's what I'm
that's
telling you, man.
facts, bro.
Real
That's
talk.
facts.
Real talk, man.
That's facts. But yeah, I'd be telling dudes at work and shit, cause I used to wear my mask when I first started, cause it was cold outside, so motherfuckers ain't even never know that I had hair and shit. So once it started getting hot, I started wearing my shit out. Like, what the hell? I'm like, man, these are antennas. I work with a lot of Hispanics and shit, and I feel like that's even a part of my mission now too, because these motherfuckers learning shit from me. They be
Right.
teaching me their language and everything, and I teach them ours and shit or
Right.
whatever. But I'm trying to let them know, like, y'all are us. Ain't no separation, man. These motherfuckers gonna make it seem like it's a separation between us, but it's really not. You
Right.
know. I tell that motherfucker, put your arm up against mine. See how we down there look the same? Fuck you talking about, bro.
Bro, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, the system is just trying to divide us, man.
Uh huh.
Like,
Uh huh.
it don't matter what you go through, it don't matter what color you are. They trying to divide us so we won't come together.
Facts.
So they
Facts.
lie and say you this race and you come from this heritage, and they lie and say, oh, you can become a $5 Indian, because they don't want us to know ourselves and who the real original people of the land is. They don't want us to come together, so they try to divide us
Mm
as much as they can,
hmm. Mm hmm.
so we can feel like the minority,
Mm hmm.
but we really the majority.
Big facts. Big facts. Bro,
Because
I ain't even got
if
as
we
deep.
all knew if we all knew that we was the majority, we would have been took over this shit, man. We would have
Mm
we would have been took all over this shit and got our land back and all that shit. But we so indoctrinated and programmed to thinking that, oh, we the minority. Oh, that Mexicans and any melanated people not with us. Some melanated people not with us, like you said
hmm.
earlier.
Mm hmm.
You know what
Mm
I'm
hmm.
saying? But it's more of us than them.
Big facts.
So if
Big
we
facts.
all would have, if we all would have, like Harriet Tubman say, man, she could have saved millions of slaves if they knew they were slaves.
Hmm. Hmm. Word. Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers
But they didn't know
didn't
they were
even know they
slaves.
were
They thought
slaves.
they was
Hey,
they.
bro, that's crazy because I said something earlier about because a dude had made a post saying something about somebody cash app him a million what do you say 9 million or something like that so he could change the world. I said, bro, first and foremost, you are the currency, so think that way. And secondly, even if we had the money to go ahead and buy back this and buy back that or whatever the case may be, if people mindsets haven't changed, what are we really changing? Cause we can buy back everything, create a whole new world, but motherfuckers still fucked up mentally. Niggas
Right,
still think the same way, still move the same way, act the same way, which is the programming.
right.
So if
That's
that
hey,
haven't
look.
changed, what are
What's
we changing?
what's the most important thing that they used to um how can I say it? What's the first thing that the Europeans used to conquer over our people physically
The
and
mindset,
our mind,
yeah, that's how they were able to control, bro.
our minds,
Yeah,
and what and our minds is connected to what?
our bodies or the
The
soul.
universe.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So if once they conquer your mind, it's over with. That's the main thing they wanted to conquer, your mind. Your body gonna go wherever your mind go.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they got your mind, they got you. That's like the movie Get Out. You seen that movie Get Out?
Uh-huh.
What
That's
what
definitely a prime example of it, for
they was
sure.
taking they was taking motherfucker brains,
Mm-hmm.
taking
Uh,
motherfuckers' minds, making them go in the so-called sunken place. When you in a sunken place, what that mean? That means that you got your body, but you don't have your mind.
hmm. Word. Word. That's how I told the motherfucker, bro. I'm in full control of everything on my end. Like seriously though. Like even me going to work and shit. You know, I know what we not supposed to be doing, but I'm creating a system within the system. You know, that's what I'm on right now. You know, I'll use the system to benefit my system that I'm creating until I'm able to get to that point where we can go about it the way it needs to be done.
That's
You
facts.
know, and the only way we're gonna get to that point, bro, is when everybody stop. Like, you know, I
That's
said this
facts.
earlier on the phone. Like, what I mean by this, like, stop. Like, meaning stop paying the bills, stop going out here buying all this luxury shit, you know, because we're only contributing to the system by doing all of this. You know,
Facts.
motherfuckers just stop all of that materialistic shit, all of that weird ass shit. You know, I told a motherfucker, what, 5 years ago, bro, y'all can show y'all powers by saying y'all not paying y'all rent this much. This was a apartment complex that my sister was living in. I was like, sis, imagine if everybody in your apartment complex said, fuck them, we not paying rent and we not going nowhere. What the fuck could they do? What could they do? All of y'all standing on business. Y'all ain't going nowhere. What can they do? But you know, things like that, people are afraid
We
to do.
we
That's shit that need to be done and go viral, right?
we
Because
lost
if
we
people
lost
see some shit like that and they see motherfuckers standing on some shit like that, trust me, other apartment complexes will start following the wave. That's the shit we need to be doing. Let's
yeah,
create that type of shit. Let's make that type of shit go viral.
yeah. So that we lost sight of that because back in the day they had certain communities that used to do that. You know what I'm saying? They used to come together and say, "Oh no, we not riding this bus no more." You know what I'm saying? "Oh, we not going to work." They had certain communities that used to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that was the people that was standing up. That was the strong backbone people that was standing up for their community. But they made our generation so weak that we don't do no type of shit like that no more, man.
Right. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
You're not gonna catch no nowadays. You're not gonna catch no community talking about we not going to work or we not doing this and we not doing that because they so trapped on getting kicked out their house or doing
Mm-hmm.
or doing some other, like, man, stand on business, man.
I said that earlier, bro. I said they're afraid of what they're going to lose instead of thinking about what they're going to gain by doing this.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know, bro. I said when it come to our people and you know the labels that we put on ourselves, and we are those strong people. I'm not taking that away at all. We really are, but the fact that people choose to go about life the way that they do for the programming, they will never understand that part. You know,
Hey,
so
look, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna let you run your shit after this. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's just say that sports. You already know what I'm about to say. All let's just say all the melanated people in the NFL, all the melanated people in the NBA, in the MBL, and tennis. Let's just say that all our melanated people got the fuck up out they motherfucking system and created their own system.
mm-hmm.
Do you think the NBA in the NFL, they would close, they would shut down. That like they would have to close down, man, because ain't nobody watching no NBA without all these melanated people, man.
Word.
If LeBron,
Word.
if Kobe was still here,
Right.
if Shaq, all the
Yeah.
motherfuckers come together and they make their own motherfucking National Black Association, whatever you could call it, the NBA, National Black
Mm-hmm.
Association, and they go
Word.
play basketball over there, and it was all black people, and it was owned by all black motherfuckers. You think the other NBA would make as much money? They would like
Hell no.
who the
Hell
fuck
no.
gonna watch a whole bunch of Caucasian motherfuckers play against each other,
Nobody.
man?
That shit gonna look goofy as hell. Nobody. Nobody. That's what I mean when I said all we got to do is stop. If we stop, they system stop. We are
Exactly,
the system. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? So we got to stop doing in order to break the system.
exactly.
So it's as simple as that, bro.
Yep,
Simple as that.
that's facts.
Like I said, it's our people though, brother. It's our people. You know, we are our biggest problem.
It's
So,
our people. It's our people, and our people not taking accountability, man.
mm-hmm.
They not taking accountability. They not
Everybody
they
wants to. They want to keep pointing the fingers.
yeah.
You know, they want to keep pointing the fingers and blaming other races of people and all that shit, bro. Like I said, same cycles being repeated. You know, that's why no changes are being made. Like, motherfuckers just don't get it, bro. It's us. It ain't them. If motherfuckers start speaking differently, different things that start happening. You know, they gotta understand our words is very powerful. So it's like if everybody's speaking that way and thinking that way, that's what's gonna happen. We speaking and thinking that shit into existence. Speak and think differently and see what happens then. I only speak based off of experiences. I've experienced these things. That's why I can speak highly of that shit. I started thinking differently. I started speaking differently. And different things happen for me.
Hey, but look, I'm gonna say this. You know, that's what make us. That's what make us so special and connected. Is because we can't get we can't get 100% of our community to come together. Is that'll never happen. You got to realize that
Mm-hmm.
you would never
Mm-hmm.
get 100% of your community to come together. It's
Facts.
always gonna be the chosen ones, and that's why we chosen, because
Mm-hmm.
we got a different mindset than them.
Hmm.
You can't bring everybody with us. That just like back in the day, but even back in the day, they couldn't bring everybody with them. They always had some sellouts. They always had some uncle motherfucking Tom that was telling
Tom.
telling
Mm-hmm.
and shit. They
I believe
always
it,
had
brother.
that.
I said it earlier, bro. I promise you. I said this shit earlier. I was like, y'all gotta understand, everybody not us, and that's the reason why it will never be us building as a collective or whatever the case may be. If you're speaking of all melanated people, because all melanated people not us. You know, everybody ain't tried to fuck up. You know, it was our own people that went against us, or those who look like us. I'm gonna say that. You know, they wasn't our people. They just look like us. You know, but everybody
But
ain't us, bro. And it's a
but
lot of mixtures.
you
It's
know,
a big.
so what we have to do is all the chosen ones have to come together. But
I been
I'm gonna
said
say
that,
this.
bro.
I'm gonna say this. Some of these so-called chosen ones got mixed up in the programming.
Uh huh. I spoke about that. I spoke
Like
about
you,
that.
you can be chosen, but once you get indoctrinated and you go back to the programming, your ego is the ego. They ego, they ego gets so high to where they don't even want to help other people no more. They just worrying about themselves.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
but God gave you the knowledge and the wisdom to free your people, but instead you used it, you using it in a evil way or a bad way instead of using your tools to help your people.
Right.
It's a lot of woke motherfuckers out here, man. So
Yeah,
why the fuck they never came together as a community and try to do nothing?
I've been said that, bro. I said that 5, maybe 6 years ago, brother. I promise you. I'm like, why don't we just get those who are woke, the ones that we're in connection with right now? Why don't we all just get together and do some shit? Instead of y'all trying to wait for everybody to wake up, that shit ain't never gonna happen. Fuck wrong with y'all. We
Exactly.
need to go ahead and make
Exactly.
some noise right now with the ones who are woke. Let's do that.
Right.
That way we
Right.
can create these new chains and these new cycles, because that could be what's going viral. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
these young niggas and these young women can pick up off of that, and now we creating something for real.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Okay. I'm
Yep.
with that. Whenever motherfuckers ready to stomp down some doors, I'm with it. I've been saying this shit. I'm a wild Indian. You hear me? I'm still with the shit.
Real
I
talk,
just
man.
want to put that energy into the right motherfuckers. Those who
Right.
deserve that shit, not those who my own. That's where I'm at with it. You know, but shit, I've been said. I told Chief Pontiac, Rod Hayes when he was on my joint and shit, like, man, shit, I'm definitely one of the front lines. I'm ready to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's up? What's up? You know. But I do still feel like some noise got to be made, bro. I stand on that. I feel like some noise got to be made. Some noise got to be made when it comes to our people. We got to do something very powerful.
Yeah.
Fuck like a million man march or all that shit, man. We got to do some super duper powerful shit. You know what I'm saying? And start and make that a trend. You know, that's how we can save our people.
Real talk, man. It's going. It's. I'm not gonna say it's not happening because it is happening. It is. We are elevating as a people because
Mm-hmm.
I see certain things on the internet to where more melanated people are growing their own foods. You know,
Yeah.
more more melanated people are investing and creating their own business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that it's not happening, but what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is it would happen in a more vast energy if we would all do it. If we
Right.
all would do it at the same time and actually promote the shit
Mm.
and actually put it on social media to say, look, all our people coming together and this what you supposed to do as a melanated person. We supposed to be doing this, but
Right.
so many people just doing they shit just by themselves, or they just
Mm-hmm.
doing it singly
Mm-hmm. I
when
see a lot of that.
they not doing it as a group. They
Right.
not doing it as a community.
Right.
They doing it by themselves, single
Mm-hmm.
handed.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of that, bro. A lot of that. A whole lot of that. And that's why I speak the way that I do. Like people, and these to be the same people that speak on like building with the collective and
Exactly.
like-minded individuals and what to do for the communities and shit like that. But yeah, y'all doing shit for self.
Right.
Like, if
Yep.
y'all was with all that, why y'all ain't spreading that knowledge or whatever it is to your people so they can go ahead and jump in the mix of whatever you got going on, then we can,
Right. And it
get the
spread.
shit going.
Yeah.
Cause everybody got like some sort of talent, bro. Like we got multiple talents. We could do
Hell
whatever the
yeah.
fuck we want to do, honestly. Anything we want to do. Like we superheroes in my head, bro. I promise you. I tell my son all the time, I'm a superhero. I got
Hell
powers,
yeah.
bro. I got fucking powers, my nigga. Like seriously, I ain't figure it out yet fully, but I got some powers, you know. Um, but once a motherfucker reach that level, bro, like it's over with. You know, I've already learned like practicing, protecting my energy and you know, how to avoid a lot of shit. Cause you know, I used to put different type of energy into shit, bro. Like on that Damon time shit and 0 to 100. Like I used to give a lot of that. You know, it took a long, bro. It took a lot for me to go from that
Bro,
to who I
you
am
know,
now.
you know everything that was on this earth, any material things that was on this earth, melanated people created.
Mm-hmm.
So the fucking
Mm-hmm.
big, if we can create big ass pyramids, if we can create the fucking clothes on our back, if we can create a whole business and build a whole business, we can do that. Like, man, you know how powerful, that's what you said, like we got superpower. You know how powerful we are, man. We don't need,
Mm-hmm.
if we got we can create our own oil. We got our own, we know how to get our own oil. We know how to get our own water. We was doing this shit years ago.
Hmm.
Like
Big fact.
we didn't need them motherfuckers for nothing.
Shit, we
We
was
was
living off
already
the
doing it.
land, bro. Like motherfuckers was living off the land, and man, I remember I spoke about this on the show like a couple of years ago and shit. And I was like, you know, and this is just my thoughts towards how I feel like shit used to go. Like, let's say, you know, I know how to build houses, right? And you know how to build cars. You feel me? You need a house, I need a car.
Exactly.
Bang. You feel me? I build your house, you build me 2 cars. I have that shit equal up
Yeah.
to be the same. You know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
The
And
bartering.
it
We was bartering.
right. It could be that simple, bro. It could be that
Yeah.
simple. I don't know.
That's
I
that's
don't feel
that's
like it could really just go back to that exactly, but I feel like it could get to a point, or it needs to get to a point, or it is gonna get to a point where you know we're in full ownership of a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And we spreading that wealth amongst each other, you know, and creating our own communities and things like that. I do feel like it's gonna get to that point.
right. It's gonna get back, and I feel like it can get back to that point because if you if you got a craft, if you got a craft, and I'm not specifically experienced in your craft, but I got a craft, and you not experienced in my craft, then I can give you what I'm making for what you making.
Hmm.
That can always happen.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? That can,
Word.
if you making chains and I'm making shoes, I can barter with you and give you, you know what I'm saying? Like you give me 5 chains for 2 pair of shoes.
Hmm.
That can
Word.
always happen.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what time it is, because you don't have the same craft that I have. So my craft is you know what I'm saying, is different from yours. So it's so uh significant that
Mm-hmm.
I can trade you what I'm doing for what you doing.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're going, what you're saying, bro. I spoke about that shit before. You know,
That's
when
how
I
it's
say
really
it
supposed
can't
to
go
be.
back to that, I'm saying like as a whole, like everybody, like you know what I'm saying. But like we was just saying, for those who are woke, you know, that's some shit that we could be doing. You know, we could start pushing that. You know, I gotta close the line. Shit, everybody got something. You know that they're
Yeah.
very talented at, or something that they're pushing out here. You feel me? And we can all just support each other and push together. Like, bro, it's so simple. Like using these social media platforms to benefit us. You know, we really can do that. A lot of these platforms you can make money off of now. We could use that to our benefit if we need to play around with the paper money and shit. You know, it's a lot that could be done as a unit. You know, we can't even do
But
the simple shit as a unit, bro.
exactly.
Shit that's simple as
Exactly.
shit, bro. We can't do
Exactly.
as a unit.
Because
Like,
you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful of the ones that sold they soul, man. So
mm-hmm.
it's a lot of people that got knowledge and wisdom, and they'll just sell their soul for the money.
Mm-hmm. I do know that. Definitely
They'll
know
they'll
that.
they'll they'll rather be rich, and it got some people out here that had knowledge and wisdom, and as soon as they sold they soul, they don't talk about no knowledge or no wisdom no more. After they sold they
Mm-hmm.
soul and they got their money, they don't talk about no wisdom or no knowledge after that.
Right.
They
Right.
don't come together with the community. They don't talk about the community no more. All they talk about is they money and what they got,
Mm-hmm.
and how they living. They don't say
Mm-hmm.
nothing about community or knowledge or nothing no more after they get that money.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I done seen a lot of that, bro. I done seen a lot of motherfuckers change once that fame came about. A lot of them. Uh, you know, that's why I choose not to even tap in with too many motherfuckers no more, bro. I
Exactly.
used to run around on the internet and watch a lot of these brothers podcasts and things like that. But then it's like, bro, y'all all in it for the same fucking reasons and shit,
Yep.
man. Y'all ain't really for the people and shit,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
fuck out of here,
Yep.
man. Like, that shit sound good, but y'all charging, man. You gotta pay to even be a part of these motherfuckers podcasts and shit now. Just to get exclusive videos, they charging you for shit. Like you gotta join their channels and be a subscriber or pay a certain amount of money every month and all
Hey
that
look.
to get the exclusive
Hey look.
shit. Man.
Hey look. I'm gonna say this, and it correlates with what you're saying right now, and I'm gonna get to
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm gonna get to that. So I was a young pup. You know what I'm saying? I was in my grandma and my grandpa. Do you remember? Do you remember the? I used to stay up. I used to be up all night. Do you remember them commercials where they used to promote? And this is what really fucked me up and really like made me wake. I woke up at an early age because I had questions. Like when you woke when you asked a lot of questions. So you remember them commercials about the church? I mean, yeah, like when they used to have these commercials that used to come on TV and say that, oh, I can heal any health issues you got. They had the motherfucker walking down the aisle in a wheelchair. They had a blind motherfucker walking down the aisle. They couldn't see nothing. And soon as the pastor touched their head, they jump up and start dancing and doing all type of shit.
Hey, bro, I used to
And
see that shit. You talking about that dude shit that used to come on a late night?
yeah,
The pastor dude and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Bro,
So
I used to be crying laughing off that shit, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, this motherfucker roll up in a whole wheelchair, disabled, can't walk at all. You do some hey and touch a motherfucker head, and next thing you know, they getting up and they dancing around and
yeah,
doing the laffy taffy. Like, what
yeah,
the fuck?
yeah, yeah. So ever since I seen that shit, and ever since I started going to church, and motherfuckers used to pass that fucking collection plate around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to ask myself, why why the fuck do God need money?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck they keep asking for money?
Right.
So you mean to tell me I gotta pay God to heal me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I, as a young kid, I already knew that shit was fake. I was like, oh
Right.
nah, that shit fake, man. What the fuck I gotta pay God? Why every time we go to church, they pass around a collection plate and the only nigga that's shining in that bitch is the pastor and he
The
got a nice
pastor.
ass car.
Man, we
He got
just
a
had this conversation yesterday, brother. Just had this conversation yesterday. I'm like, how the fuck people don't see that? Like y'all going to church, y'all the ones that's struggling. Y'all going to church to receive this information from this so-called God that's going to come down out the sky magically and save everyone, and y'all believe in that, whatever. But yet this pastor that's preaching this information to y'all is taking out of y'all pockets, knowing the situations that y'all are in. You know,
Right.
y'all leaving from church and going straight back to the same situations y'all been in,
Right.
projects or whatever. You know, but that pastor not leaving church and going home the same way as y'all.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I don't know, bro. That
And that
shit.
shit correlate. That's why I said that shit correlate with what you said earlier. And I can't remember what you said because
I
I'm kind
said
of
something about because I don't know. I'm thinking of this. When I said something about shit been going on for so long that it became normal, I said something about that, and this kind of falls in place with that as well because, like, that been going on for so long. You know, the collection plates, and you know, people coming to church and feeling like that's not a problem, that's
yeah,
not an issue. It been going on for so long that shit became normal. That shit is normal to people now. When I noticed that it was some bullshit is when that bitch was going around once, bro. Like once a day, once every service or whatever. Then I started notice 2 times, then 3 times a day. Then that shit then got up to 5 times, bro, before
yeah,
the church service is over. Like
yeah,
y'all sending that bitch around 5 times. Y'all raping niggas in this bitch.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know. But that's how you know you different, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because normal kids wouldn't worry about that shit. Like normal kids wouldn't think about that type of shit like that.
At all.
But us, we thinking like, why the fuck they keep sending this money plate around
Hmm.
for God? If
Hmm.
God is supposed to be the most powerful thing on this earth, and He can create anything on this earth, and He can do whatever. It's not a He, but I'm saying He because
Right.
most
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers,
I
you know
got
what I'm
it.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why do this motherfucker need all this money?
Hmm.
If God created money, do you think he need money?
Come on
What
now.
the
If he
what the
created
fuck?
the world
Like, yeah, he created
and,
a whole
and
world.
you
Like
know,
what?
like that shit didn't take no money at
Like,
all.
yeah, like what the
You
fuck?
know.
What the fuck y'all keep giving this motherfucker money for, man? And then them commercials, like I was telling you, them commercials that came on TV, and motherfuckers coming down the motherfucking in wheelchairs and dancing, jumping up and
Mm-hmm.
dancing, doing the MC
Mm-hmm.
Hammer, motherfucker doing the MC Hammer dance and shit. Like, like,
Right.
and like what?
Hey, bro. Curing cancer, curing people addictions and shit. Like
Yeah,
motherfucker
like,
from being went from being a crackhead for being straight sober for 10 years and 0.2 seconds.
and
Like,
what? Hey, look, and what they used to always say at the end of the commercial. Dial 1-800
oh
this
yeah,
this this
yeah,
to
yeah.
if you want to get healed or you want to get
Uh-huh.
healed of your man, stop, man. I'm not, man,
Man,
stop it, man.
that nigga was running it up. I'll tell you that. And I noticed he was using a lot of our peoples on them commercials and in them
Exactly.
services. You'll see
None
a bunch of fucking black motherfuckers in
Nothing but
that
black
bitch.
motherfuckers on that
I'm like,
commercial.
man,
Nothing but melanated motherfuckers on that commercial.
bro. Hey yo, that's what I say, bro. When the motherfucker wake up, bro, you start looking back at a lot of shit. You like, bro, what the fuck? Niggas really was falling for this shit. Like people really was falling for this. Like what?
And
Like
that's how you know when we came on this earth, we had already been here before.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've been here before, so we already seen as a young kid. We already seen what the fuck was going on.
Word.
It was coming to us as a kid.
Mm-hmm. That's what I be telling people all the time, bro. I'm like, man, shit, I always been different. Now I get it. Now I get why I always been different. Like, I never went about the same rules and regulations as all these weird motherfuckers. I never wanted to dress the same way as people in school or none of that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
wasn't entertained by nothing that they was entertained by. Like, you
yep,
know, yeah, I always was in my own little world and the weird kid. That's why I speak today, and I'd be like, bro, don't even get mad about somebody calling you weird or calling you crazy. That's just saying you different. Because if we
Exactly.
speaking anything outside of the programming, we weird and we crazy. Like,
Exactly. And guess what? And guess what? The so-called crazy and weird motherfuckers is gonna be the ones that's having all type of inventions and motherfucking creating all type of shit that we need. So the normal. All right. So look, if the normal kids gonna grow up and go to college and get a degree and go do all this, but the weird motherfuckers gonna be creating how to make oil from fucking plastic. Like,
mm-hmm.
bro, you seen this dude? They got a dude on YouTube, bro. This nigga know how to make gas from plastic.
Bro, it's crazy you speaking on some shit like that. I was trying to tell ask dudes about this movie, or did they hear this dude called the Peanut Man that made like everything from peanuts? And I had ended up watching like the little movie they had about him and shit, his story. Like this dude really made a black melanated dude made
Yeah,
everything from peanuts and shit, bro.
that's the same shit. Cause that's a melanated dude I'm talking about. A melanated
Mm-hmm.
dude, he'll take some plastic and he'll create it into gas, bro.
Hmm.
This motherfucker had all type of plastic. He put it in some type of machine, and it melts it and did all type of shit. And nigga, you can put that shit in your car and it'll start your car and you can run off that shit, man.
Bro, that's what this dude was doing with the peanut shit. This dude was doing the same shit. Like when I say literally everything, bro, he's creating everything from peanuts and shit. Called the
But
Peanut
but
Man and
but they
shit.
wanna make fun of the weird motherfuckers. They wanna make fun of the different.
Oh, the
Uh,
weird nigga. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
I was telling dude yesterday and shit. I'm like, man, dude, when my bros used to come in my house and they see what I'm watching, they be like, bro, you always watching some weird shit. Like I'll be watching like Discovery Channel, History Channel, like some Animal Planet type
Animal
shit.
Planet.
Like yeah, I'll be on that type of shit, bro. Like how to survive in the wilderness type shit.
Yeah,
I watch that type of shit, bro. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And they always consider that to be weird. Okay, again, because I'm different. I'm outside of this program. Y'all just
right.
don't know it. I didn't even know it then, but shit. uh,
Hell yeah, man. Anytime anytime you connected with nature, bro, I swear, as a young kid, man, I always was connected with nature, man.
facts.
When you
Facts.
connect, hey, if you the type of motherfucker that can watch Animal Planet all day,
Mm-hmm.
you connected to
I can.
nature, bro.
I can. I can do
I,
that shit all day. That's all I used to do. That's all I used to do, bro. I will keep the TV on that. I don't give a fuck what was coming on, long as it was based off of the animals and all of that. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
yeah,
I
like
like being in the woods. I used to like doing shit like in the woods, like and I remember my backyard when I was little. We had a tree, and I would always climb up in that tree, and I always wanted to build a tree house. Still to the day, I just told my coworker this shit. I'm like, bro, when I get my next house with a big yard, I said, bro, I'm gonna build me a tree house in whatever tree in my yard. That's something I always wanted to do and shit. So I'm gonna do that. I'm
yeah,
gonna do that.
hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro. That's what it's really about, man.
Word.
Nature, connecting to nature, and once you figure out that nature and human life correlates and it comes together, that's like the same
Mm-hmm.
shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was watching something yesterday with my goddess, and the dude was saying, when the last time you went and spoke to a tree, and as because again, like a shit that we supposed to do as the chosen ones, connecting with nature, they say it's weird. I say, man, I do that bro. I'm at work. Every time I go off to the side at work to smoke my cigarette or whatever, I'm over that bitch talking to the trees, bro. I'm over
Hey,
there
look.
just talking to the trees, bro. Like I be standing in the middle of the joint, just looking up at the sun all the time, bro. And I look down, they be looking at me like, "What the fuck is he looking at?" I'm like, bro, y'all ask me where I get my energy from, right? Yeah, right. That's where I get my energy from. I do that shit every time the sun out.
All right. All right. So look, I got a story for you. So we connected, right, to to
Mm-hmm.
nature. Tell me why this shit happen every time. Bro, you can go. I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I'm gonna tell you what my children did, and I'm gonna tell you what the mother of my children did. They all did the same thing, but I'm gonna tell you what they did first. So the
Right,
mother of my children, we was talking about nature.
right.
She went in the backyard and she went by the tree. She was talking to the tree. So then she went by the leaves, but she backed up. She backed up a little bit. She didn't get all the way close to the leaves. She backed up a little bit because I you know what I'm saying, I'll be trying to give my knowledge to the children, the mother of my children. I'll be trying to give
Mm-hmm.
her the knowledge and the wisdom. So she already know, like, she was talking to the tree and she told the tree to touch her face. Tell me why the fucking leaves, the leaves started rising up
Mm-hmm.
and that shit actually touched her face.
Word, word.
And then
Right.
my little girl, my daughter did it.
Hmm.
My little daughter did it because she seen her mama do it. She said, "Mama, I want to do it. Mama, I want to do it." So we picked her up and she said, "Touch my face." She said, "Tree, touch my face, touch my face." And that motherfucker started coming back up like
Word.
and touch my daughter's face.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I'm like, man, what the fuck? So
Uh-huh.
as I'm watching this shit, then my kid's mother, she said, "You come do it." She said, like, "You come do it." So I stood back far, like I was far, like I was far away from the tree, but I kept a distance to where the leaves could still hit my face. I didn't want to walk too far back, but I walked. I was farther than them, so
Right.
I told the tree, I was like, man, I said, come on. I was like, what's up, man? I was talking to the tree like a regular motherfucker. I was like, man, look, hey, touch my face. You put your leaves, you know what I'm saying, on my face or whatever. That motherfucker start, bruh. Every time it's like every time, bro. If you go outside right now and you tell a tree to rise up or touch you or do anything, it would do it,
Oh, I know. I do it.
bruh. Trees,
Do it.
bro. Trees they can hear you, bro.
Yeah. Man, listen, if somebody was to walk up, bro, I promise you, when I be back there on my breaks or whatever, doing what I be doing, they'll definitely think I was crazy. Like, I'll be rightly back there having whole conversations. But most of my conversations be in my head. I'll be
Yeah,
talking to them in my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even actually using words, but like I said, bro, it'd be times where like it wasn't no wind blowing, but when I'm talking to them, the shit just start blowing like the leaves on the tree and shit. I've experienced the joints rising up, trying to touch me and all of that, you know, all of that. But
yeah,
it ain't for
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, it ain't for that. It ain't.
It
Hey,
ain't for
it definitely
everybody,
ain't for
bro.
everybody, man.
Uh huh.
Hey,
Motherfuckers
but
don't be
people don't
tapping
know.
in.
Hey, look.
I was planning on going out and doing some grounding today, bro. But the weather ain't too cool and shit. That's the
Yeah,
only reason I ain't
over
get
here
up and
either.
go do it.
Over here either, man. It's been raining. It's been raining a lot, man. It's been
Word.
raining a lot over here. But
I said I gotta go wash these clothes, bro. I'm bull crapping right now. I wouldn't even plan on staying on here long, but I say my brother came up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and rock out. But I'm about to close out, bro. I gotta go wash these clothes, get ready for the week, and my son clothes too and shit or whatever.
All right, that's a
But
bet, man. That's a
I,
bet.
I
Whenever you go back online or whenever you do anything, man, just let me know, man.
I got you. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with this shit, bro. You know, I ain't really been doing it consistently as I used to do. You know, I once did this shit. You know, but it comes a time where you gotta take a break from the social media shit,
Right?
especially
Hell yeah.
if you really talking your truth. And I know how this shit go, bro. You know, when it comes to social media, I don't want to have major followers and subscribers and all of that. I don't care about none of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I don't be telling people like, share, subscribe, none of that, bro. Like, I'm just here to speak my truth, use my platform to speak my truth, and allow my brothers and my sisters to do the same thing, you know, and we keep it going, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, so look, keep it positive, keep it safe, keep it divine. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? You already know what type of, you know what I'm saying, spirits we are. You already know what our souls connected to the divine and to the most
Mm-hmm.
high. Man, look, man. Hit me up whenever you go back on live. Hit me up. We're gonna connect. We're gonna continue to build. We're gonna continue to wake this motherfucking world up and universe and come together as a community. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And just keep vibing at a high frequency. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, happy Father's Day again.
Same
You
to
know what
you,
I'm
my brother.
saying? So
Same
look,
to
we
you.
we about to go take care of our seeds. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big facts.
Every day like we
About to
been
go
doing.
do some fatherly duties out this motherfucking shit that they say that only the moms do. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah,
I'm about to go do. Fuck they
yeah.
talking about. That's what I'm
Real
about to
talk,
go
man.
do. You
Real
know?
talk, man. And
Shit
hit
hit
and
different, man.
just hit me up, man, and be safe. You hear me?
All right, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Much love. You know the vibes, tribe.
Much love, man. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my brother, man. Hey, y'all know the vibes, man. This was I Can't Make This Shit Up podcast with myself, Big Chief, not the little one, G the Starflower, melanated God of love. I am here, but I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. My goddess, Aquarius goddess, shout out to her. Shout out to my sister, Crazy Tree Lady. Shout out to my brother, JBMiles. He would, like I said, he might not been able to pull up because I know they just took a trip from down these ways and shit. So I already know. You know, love is love at the end of the day, man. I appreciate everybody that pulled up, tapped in, everybody that just stayed here and listened to my voice. You know, I definitely appreciate y'all and I love y'all wholeheartedly. You know, this was Father to Father. You know, I did plan on getting into a lot more with this, you know, because I know my brothers definitely be needing that shoulder sometimes and that ear. I do know this for a fact, but a lot of brothers they you know afraid to actually ask for that. You know what I'm saying? But I be knowing my brothers need that, so that's why I choose to create these tables. You know, these round tables for us to sit and talk like men. You know, it's not meant for us to judge anyone. Who are you? You know, love is love, though, man. I love every last one of y'all. Happy Father's Day to every last one of my brothers. You know, it doesn't take one day to celebrate us being fathers. Actually, it's not a celebration at all because they are our seeds. So it's meant for us to play those roles within those seeds' lives. Fuck is y'all talking about? You hear me? Huh? Love is love, man. Big Chief, not the little one. I am here to break chains. I am here to break cycles, and that I shall do, man. I love every last one of y'all, man. Shout out to my goddess, Aquarius goddess. Shout out to my three young star seeds. Big MRMWRW tribe. Y'all know the vibes. Love is love.